was just capturing this weird thing. All right, we should be
back.
Should be making some noise now. Apologies for that, people. Just tech stuff. Hey, tech stuff. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I can hear me now. I'm just going to be checking another thing from the speakers. Realtek audio. Okay, so
Mum says still can't hear it.
It'll be a second. There's a little bit of a lag. I can hear me. I'm playing the video and can hear it. Apologies for that. I have my normal default setup, and yeah, for some reason today it just did not want to do it, which is a little bit annoying. Hey, all right, I've got that one going. Got this thing here.
Good.
Apologies for that. Turn it off, man. It's going to capture it.
Normal default setup,
and yeah, for some
Good.
reason. Cool. All right, you ready to roll?
Truck around.
Okay. Let me just check I've got everything. That's right. Okay, sweet. Here we go. We'll kiss me mortals.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Musings here with me and Mortals. Got Juan on this side.
Kyrin here on the side of the microphone.
And today's going to be a pretty straightforward one. We're going to be talking about annual goals, right? So annual goals, yearly goals. If you've been following us for a little while, we've now done this twice, I believe, on the podcast. So we've done previous 2 years worth of annual goal. We normally work through monthly goals as well. And we thought that this Musings round, we'd look back again at my own annual goals. So we're going to be looking at mine because normally they go from August to August. So it's birthday to birthday in essence.
So I've labelled it Juan's 2023 goals.
Yep.
So
which is
most
roughly,
of it is
exactly. Most of it is in 2023. So there's 4 months in 2022, and then the rest of the 8 months in 2023.
Well,
so
August, September, October, November, December, so 5.
True, good point. Yes, 5 and 7. 5 and 7, that's right, until July, end of July. So, yep. So, look, we'll probably throw up on the screen the actual images so I can talk through individually.
I'll put that in a second,
I might go back first. There's a couple of bits. I wanted to reflect back on the previous year's annual goals.
I wanted to do that in a separate video.
Cool. Okay, well, I'll do it. A little summary that I'll say is that
summary.
The only thing is, so I had, I think it was like 40 or 45, something like that, like a lot of goals. Now, and I learned that amount of goals, a lot of them was fitness ones. So like fitness had like 12 of them in there.
Don't say how many you've got for this year coming up.
Yeah, I won't say. So there was 45, 12 of them being fitness. But I've learned from that, and you'll see obviously when I work through this one. So it's reduced, but we'll see by how much it's a reduction. Yeah. But I've moved some things out. So if you actually added them in there, it's a bit more. But still, in summary, it's actually pulled back a bit, which is good. I also found, just in general, the way that I target the yearly goals, I check against my monthly percentages, like how I'm achieving month-to-month goals, and how overall, out of, say, 100%, I hit the annual goals. And I normally try to target myself at an adherence of 85% of the monthly goals and 80% of the annual goals. And both of them were met. Like I think it was like 86% and 82% or something like that. So overall, I was like, okay, cool. I was hitting the mark on the things I wanted to do. Others I just saw and were like, yep, completely throwaways, which was a bit of a learning for into the future. And then for me, I just thought, okay, we probably for this session, I reckon I'm just going to go through all of the listings, probably talk through if there's any points of each one in particular. And then at the end, I reckon we go into the Boostagrams, and then we'll have a look, and then we'll just finish it.
Okay, yeah. So one thing I wanted to do just while we're doing this is I've written down some predictions of what I thought you would do it. So I think it'd be fun to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, because you haven't looked at it just yet.
Well, no,
I
have no idea.
The prediction of what I might have looked at like.
So I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff that I think that maybe you could it'll be fun because it'll be a kind of combination of what you've been mentioning, but also kind of an outside critique from me.
Exactly,
like,
which will be a good thing. It'll be I like that.
One should be working on.
So, I like it.
How do you want to do this? I've split it up into your mind, body, and soul.
Yep, mind, body, and soul.
That's how you've done it?
Yep, okay, it's still the same way.
So I'll do my predictions of the mind, and then you read them out. And then
let's do that. So like, you do the predictions for the body, and then we'll throw up the things for the...
So you want to do body first?
Yeah, so mine goes body, mind, soul.
Okay.
In terms of things, yeah.
All right. So I'll bring them up, people. There is going to be probably a slight lag with the audio or cutting off of the audio because I haven't completely fixed that when I'm showing the screen. So just for those at home, you might not hear us for a couple of seconds. Whilst I'm doing that, do you want to just explain what the mind, body, and soul is?
Yep, I will do that while you transition to
an overview. Yeah.
Okay, so again, I do this for the monthly goals for myself, but I also do this in the annual goals, and it all maps up to the eminent human being type of category for myself. So I've just decided across as an eminent human being, I went, okay, there's 5 big levels from level 0 all the way to level 5 in my mind, I was like, okay, do I just do it in one aspect? Do I go in 10 categories? And you can go and sort of break down goals, aspirations by 6 things, 10 things. So for me, at the very least, I went, okay, I want to keep it simpler rather than more complex. So I went down the path of body, mind, and soul. And so body has a particular, lots of things that come around it. And then the eminent human being levels are like from 0 to 5 have certain descriptors to it about what it is, what it entails. And as you'd imagine, it's health, it's fitness all rolled up into one for like the body perspective. Mind is about learning, it's about finances, it's about engagement, it's about activity, it's about network, and soul's about connections, relationships, communications, and being known for them as the evolution goes on.
Okay,
so
interesting.
What were your predictions on the body side? Because mine goes, I don't have them listed there, but it goes the first top 3 of the body. Yeah. And then we'll actually refer to another image as well for the actual first one as well.
Gotcha. How do I drag that up? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so first of all, I just predicted that you had learnt from last time, but not by much.
Okay,
so I predicted that you would have 26 goals this time. How many have you actually put down?
So in total, I've got 19.
No, I wasn't 19. Too far
off. However, if you sum up what's within Operation 30, which I think is 7, you're right on the money on 26.
Oh, shit, dang.
So if you actually, what's on, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, no, sorry, 10.
Okay, so still off a bit.
So it's 29. So it's 29 in total.
Yeah,
28 in total.
Obviously, I'm giving you too much credit.
Too much credit. So I went from 39, I think it was, to 28. So there's a slight reduction.
He's improving, people. He's improving.
Improvement.
Okay, cool. All right, so the ones that I've got here for your body, so I had written down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for them. How many do you actually have?
3.
3? Okay.
3, but one of them has 10 inside of it.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
and those 10 could be equivalent to sort of what you do with the points throughout the year. Yeah. So I could transition into that
equivalent
when I want to. Yeah.
Okay. So what I predicted was that you would have one, which is some kind of metric. So it'd be top 20% and of specifically of cardio, because I know you've been interested in cardio.
Okay. Yep.
So I had something along the lines of being in the top 20% of swimming, running, and cycling.
Okay. So for me, I didn't go down that 20% thing, bro. I applied it once upon a time, and I didn't enjoy it. It was too ambiguous, and I didn't enjoy it.
Okay, interesting. Another one was, and this is just me kind of like hoping that you're going to focus on some bloody handstand form. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope that was in there. Mm-hmm. Another one.
It is. So not handstand, not explicitly saying handstand form.
Okay.
But it is one handstand session a week. Okay. And so a session is
that's not it. You're just going to do shit ones.
But I named it in that way. So I was like, I don't want to do a my usual way of writing him or looking at it might have been, I just want to do handstands after my workout. And like, no, I'm going to do a session of handstands. That's like not when I'm training and then afterwards, it's its own thing. Okay. So and I've got I guess it's not part of the goal, but yes, I've structured it in a way so it's better form.
Okay. Good. All right. So obviously, I've got too many, but I said eat quality food, so no cheap trash, because I know you have a tendency to go for the cheap stuff, but you're also cash flush. So I thought, maybe he's gonna actually go, okay, I'm gonna force myself to buy more expensive food.
Ooh, yep.
Wrote something to do with recovery, maybe because I think you're going to be too impatient for mobility flexibility beforehand. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, okay, because Juan likes to set himself like time periods. He won't have the discipline to be doing the stuff beforehand, perhaps, but maybe afterwards is where. So kind of focusing on recovery and also not getting injured.
Gotcha.
So something along the lines of that. I had one of a PB in non-heavy weights, but kind of technically hard stuff. So maybe this would be more the Olympic lifts.
So definitely that's in there.
So that'll be in there. And then prehab.
Prehab, yep.
Right, prehab, but in a way that is, and then in brackets, my bias here, half-assed and can be done quickly.
Yeah. It's not even in there, but if it was, that's what it would be. That is 100% what it would be.
All right, so give us the actual.
So the actual, like some of them are not far off. So look, we'll talk about the 2 operations in there. So actually, I apologize. There's 4 in there. It's actually the top 4.
Okay.
So let's talk about the first one, Operation 30. So Operation 30, level 2 body. So basically, out of my eminent human being goals, and I don't really have the image here, we don't really need it, to get to the level 2, like what I would say is level 2 body in my scale of up to level 5.
Yep.
I need to achieve a certain amount of things. So if you go to the other image that we have,
it's going to be tricky.
So while Kyrin brings it up, so for some of you who are not looking at the video, okay, here we go. So
and it'll be on your chapter art. This
chapter as well. So Operation 30. What does Operation 30 mean? So for the year, the aim is going to be deadlift. 2.8 times body weight. So I've aimed before at 3 times body weight.
Okay, so these are 1 rep maxes.
These are 1 rep maxes. These are against body weight. So deadlift 2.8 times. I had before 3 times body weight. I'm not going to get close to it. I don't think so. Not with like my back. The fact that even doing deadlift sessions nowadays, it would take an inordinate amount of energy expenditure to get deadlifts to that level, as opposed to like leaving everything else behind. So I went, okay, I can move it down to 2.8. Squat, 2.6. So I've achieved 2.5. So I actually was going to write the same thing, 2.5, but I was like, I'll push it slightly higher. I was like, I'll go 2.6.
There's gun over
bench, 2.3. Now that's going to be a task.
That's a stretch, is it?
That's going to be a stretch.
I honestly have no idea
I've only just hit 2 bench 2 times, which was the 168 kilo bench at 84 kilos. However, one of my other goals, if you saw there, was actually to bring my weight down to 82 kilos. So basically, now I'm combining the 2 here, but I want to get to an 82 kilo body weight that I want to be able to hold for the year.
Yep.
And so, but I'd say that 82 kilograms lean, but just as strong. So a lot of my lifts currently, I would have to either just maintain or go slightly stronger, but at 82 kilos to achieve some of these numbers. So they're not out of this world, but they're going to be fairly hard to maintain.
Gotcha.
Clean and jerk, 1.5 times. Look, I think at the moment it's probably like 1.2, 1.28 or something like that. So that's going to have a lot of work to it. My form, that's just like, this is all technique. There's absolutely no way that I shouldn't be doing way heavier weight than I currently do. And it's just purely my just technique with it. That's all it is. Overhead press, 1.3 times body weight. Pull-ups. I want to do 30 unbroken.
30 unbroken.
30 unbroken. That's right. So
once to get the Kyrin level.
I took your advice here. I did actually like that one. And I've already, obviously, we're now in middle of August. I've already started applying a lot of these training styles into my annual goals and monthly goals. But I'm doing a hell of a lot of pull-ups right now. So I've done, there was a workout there on last Monday. There was 100 pull-ups.
What type of pull-ups?
So I did 100 butterfly pull-ups on Monday. But then on Tuesday, I did 55 strict pull-ups in a workout.
Okay. So you're counting this as strict pull-ups then?
Strict pull-ups, yeah. This is, when I say pull-ups, we're not talking anything else but strict pull-ups. So that's nice. And I like the workout of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where you just do 10 strict pull-ups, little rest, 9 strict pull-ups, little
55?
rest, 55. Yeah. For those at home, by the way, if you want to do a really quick maths, if you ever get asked, like, what's the sum of 1 to 100? Do you know the quick...
So 1 to 100...
quick calculation to do it? So the quick calculation to do it is you basically go, you take the first number, take the last number, you sum them up, and you times it by the division of the amount of numbers divided by 2. So 1 plus 100, 101. There's 50 groupings of that. It's 101 times 50, it's 555.
Okay.
Bang.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
So if you want to, there you go. So maths for you folks, you can do it that way. So 55 if you go 10 to 1.
So what was it? What was the end answer?
55 for the pull-ups.
No,
10 to 1.
So 1 to 100.
Oh, sorry. 101 times 50, which is 555.
Okay.
Yes, 555. Right. You made me guess myself. I was like, isn't it 555? But it is.
555.
555. Is that correct?
No, that is absolutely... That can't be correct.
Oh my goodness. Am I going to have
Maybe
to... Maybe
5,500.
No, 101 times 50.
Yeah, well, you were saying 555, which is obviously not right.
Oh, no, that's correct. Actually, oh my goodness.
Well, we're getting absolutely derailed here. Apologies, people.
What am I doing wrong in that calculation?
It's 5,000 something.
It is 5,000 something. Yeah. Sorry.
Let's
Our numbers are way off. As you can see, the annual goals does not include mathematics anymore. But yeah, you're right. I was like, wait, what would be 550? That is another number. Anyways, 30 unbroken pull-ups. Swimming, 2 kilometers. So you did get right with the whole that the swimming, running would be in there.
Cardio. Yeah.
But I didn't want to put down the aspect of, going to be top whatever percent. Because I did feel in the past when I set a number of like a timing target or a percentage target, I was kind of got annoyed finding what that level actually meant. And then almost the effort of putting on like what speed, what target do I have to run to, almost took away from the just doing it type of deal. So for me now, swimming, 2 kilometers, running, 21 kilometers. That for me was like, okay, just do them. So there's not like I have to do a certain time frame with them. No, just like get out there and do it. Especially with the swimming, I have literally no idea how long it's going to take to swim 2 kilometers. And this is the running doesn't mean run nonstop. It's just do a 21 kilometer race.
Now you've ridden 21. Would you actually do a half marathon then? Because 21 is just less.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, whatever. Sorry. Okay. 22. So yep.
A half marathon.
A half marathon.
Gotcha.
So yes, 21, like a half marathon run and swimming. Now originally it was a 10 kilometer run, but I've pushed it up a little bit, being like, no. If I'm going to do it without a time, I could probably push to do like a half marathon.
100%,
so
yeah.
half marathon, and I put swimming 2Ks. Again, who knows? It took me a month to get myself to swimming a kilometer. So I was like, okay, it probably will take me a couple of months to get to 2 kilometers. It'll take me summer. So I was like, okay, roughly summer swimming sessions, couple of sessions there, probably 30 sessions. Cool, I'll be there.
Learn from me. Setting a goal around running was fun, and I achieved 3 out of the 4, but I spent a lot of time running when I wanted to be doing handstands.
So for me, running, I'm like, okay, this is sort of one where I'm like, I want to, practice for it to finish it, not to be like, I'm going to do 2-hour half marathon. Like, no, like if I get it, that's awesome.
Okay.
But it's like, let's just do it.
I was going to say, one needs to be 1 hour. It's like roughly 1 hour, 40 something, 43, 40. Yeah, it was probably about 1 hour, 43.
Well, speaking of actually on Thursday, so we're on,
if you do that, man, holy shit, that would be wild.
That'd be wild. But at the moment we're on August 14 and, the workout next Thursday at the gym is a 1.6 kilometer run, 1 kilometer row, 1.6 kilometer run, 1 kilometer row. Okay. And I think you got to do it under 20 minutes.
Dang.
So I was like, under 20 minutes, dude. So if you think about it, a 1K row is about 4 minutes, and 2 of those is 8 minutes. So you have to do 3.2 Ks in 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's.
I was like, damn, dude.
Moving. That's moving.
And the final one here, just on Operation 30, and I call it Operation 30 because 30 years old. Handstands, 1 session a week. So again, this is a session dedicated to handstands. I'm capping it at about half an hour, and just to give you a bit of a routine of what I'm doing, it's 10 minutes, and you'll see in a minute why it kind of matches with something else, but it's basically, I'll do half an hour of stretching beforehand, then I'll do 10 minutes very specific warm-up for handstand, so that's specific wrist movements, specific uphold against the wall, just getting position right, and then 20 minutes of basically just handstanding. That's basically it, with a mixture of on the bars, just on the ground, like doing it tucked, doing it not tucked, and not so much. I'm focusing, and I think for the year, not looking at max holds. It's more of go up there, get into right positions. If I feel like I'm holding it for like 5-6 seconds, good, but then come back down and go again, just to get more of the positioning. Okay. So that's Operation 30.
Nice. Little fun fact here for people: if you're wanting to learn handstands, it's actually hardest on the ground. So it's easier to do it on parallettes.
I feel way harder on the parallettes. I just feel it feels more dangerous on my wrist, but maybe it is. So.
Yeah, no. The general consensus is if you learn on the ground, you can transfer over to these other ones relatively easy, such as the blocks and parallettes. There's basically the 2 others that you can use. But yeah, just a little fun fact there.
There you go. All right, so to round out the other items for the body then. So aside from that, Operation 30, there's a 1 weekly session of dedicated stretching, minimum 30 minutes. Okay. So that I normally will tie it in with the handstands day. So I'll do like, at the moment I've been doing like a Saturday. And so if I really want to, I'll go work out on a Saturday in the morning, but I will make sometime in the afternoon to do a 30-minute stretching session and a handstand session. But what's good about this is I don't have to be at a gym. Yeah. As you say, it can be anywhere.
No, my question for this is, say a crazy week comes up, you're planning to do your...
Yep, I will drop a gym session to do this.
Okay, so it has to be done during the week. You can't push it over and do
so
a Monday, Tuesday.
Correct. And I've already looked at this. I already had a week that happened, and I moved the gym session out to do the stretching and the handstands. So I actually wanted to prioritize that as opposed to just the lifting, because I'm already planning to do like 6 or 7 days of lifting all the time. So it's like, if I push one out, I'm like, well, it's kind of fine. Here's my day off.
Okay,
so
now the other question for me then is, so if I was doing that, I'd be kind of paranoid about putting it later in the week, and I would basically be trying to putting that right in the start of the week so like on a Monday or Tuesday, to sort of get away from minimize the chances that you're planning to do it on Sunday, and then Sunday, I don't know, your mum breaks her leg or something, and
which is harder to do.
Sorry,
Patricia. Like that. Legs are gone. But yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I did write it as like one weekly session. So you're right. I mean, my default's like Saturday. The backup is Sunday. But you're right. Maybe I should think about it in the sense of, if I can find it on another day, do it on an earlier on the week.
That's what I would do. But yeah.
Yep. Good point. So anyways, that's the second one. Third one there, just easy. Work towards 82 kilo lean weight. Mm-hmm. I've literally been stable at 86 kilos for like probably a year flat, to be honest. And down maybe by a kilo, but that's about it.
And by the way, people, while I'm saying, the second one, it's actually in the row of number 3, because he's put these in
because I put
annoying as manner.
Unfortunately, you've got, the second one's in the 4th row actually. But yes, because you see the Excel numbers in there as well. So just focus on the white numbers. So yeah, you got 1, Operation 30, 2, 1 weekly session dedicated stretching, 3, work towards the 82 kilo weight, 4 is Operation 100. So we've got 2 operations. We've got Operation 30.
Oh my God.
And then we've got Operation 100. So it is 100 health.
Gotcha.
Now this one's a little bit fluffy, but it kind of makes sense to me in the sense of it's start to understand what sort of lifestyle, so food, fitness, action, sleep, means that I'm the healthiest for longest. And from what I took away from that other day, healthiest for longest and then die quickly. So that's what Operation 100 means. So it is more. And I was thinking,
check out the meanderings that comes out next week.
And I said, look to share each section aspect I learn. Maybe if I feel like it's interesting. There's not something I'm going to push towards really. Now that I look at it now, probably not. But this just falls back to a lot of things that I've read in the past. I've started to listen more to things like Petar, who goes into really explicit detail on health and longevity.
He's got his octogenarian Olympics sort of thing.
Something like that. There's also like, what's his name?
Describe him. In dance.
In dance, yeah. No, I'll have to just go quickly to my Spotify to say it's Peter. No, not Petar. Bloody
Huberman?
Yeah, that's the one.
Andrew
Huberman. So people like that, just listening to more of that, starting to put, I think I've talked about it in meanderings, but just to reshare here, it's starting to do things for the lifestyle that's a little bit longer form, so that by 100, I'm still happy to do a lot of the things, obviously not at the same lifting levels, but I'm still in a healthy way, being able to live like a life that's healthy for as long as possible.
Okay, there you go.
So that's right. And this is more like understanding what lifestyle choices am I going to have to start making to achieve that? So, that one of them being sleep, that might be like, okay, I'm not affording to go less than 6 hours sleep. And, if I get home late because of whatever,
the week that one does that, man, it's going to be crazy.
What, less than 6 hours sleep?
You're doing better. You are.
Oh, mine's like way better, dude.
Compared to a couple of years
my average, my average, if I have to go back, quite a few years. In fact, I'll just quickly do it just so I can pull it up, because it shouldn't take me too long to give you, not like I won't find you the average, but I'll find you the, what do you call it? Like just like an example of what the hours were.
Yeah.
So I'll go, let's go all the way top.
Scrolling.
So from when I was like at least checking some of these numbers, right? So this was...
Take a screenshot of whatever you read as well.
Yeah, okay.
I'll put it as a chapter
15th
image.
of March. 2021. So like there's not even that long ago. So this is on like a Monday, right? It's already. So there's Sunday, 7.5 hours, Monday 6.9 hours, Tuesday 6.8 hours, Wednesday 6.7 hours, Thursday 6.6 hours, Friday 5.65 hours, Saturday 8 hours, Sunday 6.6 hours. Then 8, 8, 7, 6, 6, 5, 7, 7, 9, 8, 6. So it was something like that.
It's actually not too bad.
So it's probably averaging around 7.5, something like that. Whereas now, I'll just quickly go 7.9, 8, 7.5, 9, 8.1, 10, 7.9, 7.8, 6.8, 9.5, 9.5, 9, 6.3, 5, 10.5.
That's more than I sleep.
Yeah, that's what I mean. My average now is 8.25 hours.
Dang, yeah, that's definitely more than
with deep sleep being 0.71 and REM sleep 2.67. So I've actually kicked that up from, I think it was 7.86 when I first started this, to 8.25. So I've increased it by quite a bit, which is nice.
My brother's actually tracking his sleep a lot more now as well. He's got a Fitbit and just trying to get his.
It's just good to be able to say, obviously it's not
REM sleep.
I'm like, it's not exactly going to be perfect, but it's just good enough. So, anyways,
very interesting.
Those are the first top things for body.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll get into my predictions for
mind.
The mind. Yep. Yes. So here we go. So I had number 1, finish the Duolingo French course. Number 2, becoming better at focusing in the moment whilst conversing. So this is maybe more kind of like listening skills. Number 3, strategic lying / joking. So what I was noticing with your goals was that you were trying to do less of it, but you'd still go back to it. And I think it's more maybe you'd want to get control of it. So it's fun and fine to do it, but actively doing it rather than it just being like a straight up general default, like I'm gonna fuck with this person sort of thing. So maybe that something around the MMW3, the Mere Mortals Web 3. I said just recognition, so something like success, some sort of success metric, but without it being statistics. It not being X number of views, or so something related to that. I've just gotten here, travel to a Web3 conference of some sort. Yeah. And
good deal, actually.
Buying another property, in particular a house. And then maybe something like the Huberman morning routine for energy. So something to do with a morning routine.
Okay.
That was my predictions.
Okay. So a lot of them, you will see them there. Some no. And maybe I'll touch on a couple of them just because you were talking about them. The house thing, yeah, that might actually happen. But I don't see that as like a goal to put in there. Definitely on the mind side. I think a lot of the
how many have you?
Okay. So in total in the mind, I've got...
Which numbers is it
from?
5
through to 15.
Okay.
Yep. 5 through 15.
I've got it up.
Awesome. Okay. So the house one, it's just not that alongside like putting a number against things. I'm just like, I don't have to do it anymore, which is nice. So the mind thing, I'm like, okay, that's not the aspect that I'm looking towards. Not going to be come up, but a few of the things that you actually mentioned are there. So again, yep, we talked about it. Mere Mortals Web 3. In fact, I've scheduled that into my calendar to actually do this for this August. This is, again, I've talked about it a couple of times, but I just want to create new content focused on my own learning journey in the space of Web 3. I want to be publishing one a month. If I miss out one a month, I'm not going to kill myself for it. Like, I'm not going to be like, okay, this is not like the stretching where it's like, it has to happen. I want to be aiming for one a month. If it ekes out more than that every 6 weeks or whatever, that's fine. It's my own sort of like learning journey with it.
Yep.
It's a broad stroke. So I've put down a couple of notes around what it needs to be. It's going to be broad. Like I don't want it to just be NFTs. That's not what I want it to be. I want it to be Web3. So it's not going to be the absolute niche particular like, oh, hey, this NFT here is like a really good one for money. Nah, it's not going to be that at all. It might be broad strokes of me learning around just broadly like NFTs, Cardano, and all the different blockchains that operate it, and just looking at it from a really high level view of, okay, this is what it actually looks like from the playing field overall. What might this entail? Where are we seeing this in real life? Something like that, right?
Mine's going to become a Shiba expert.
Shiba expert. Well, I should be, given the fact that I sold off the little bit of Shiba I had. The next one down, I want to just continue my tally of monthly net assets. I actually just didn't do this for a long time. I started doing it towards the tail end of my last annual goals. And I just want to leverage that into my own investment trends. So what I'm wanting to see there is I've broken it down into things like shares, crypto, NFTs, assets, property, super, all the other things, to give me an idea as well and a judgment month to month where things are going up and down, and also where a lot of my money's flowing. So I've got like my money very much straight up structured in terms of I'm going to move money this way and invest it into these locations. What I also want to see is a trend, how it articulates back into the month, into like a monthly view. So if I go, okay, well, I'm saying I'm doing this and putting it into, say, property, or I'm putting 20% into property. But then when I actually look at the statistics, and it's like, well, but the whatever investment in property is being done is actually not looking at 20%. It looks like it's like only increasing your asset by 21%, and then it goes back down, or some other trend to do that. I might be like, okay, that might not be the smartest place to do it. And it's also trying to structure them into really safe assets and then really risky assets, and just trying to remove things in the middle as well, which I started doing last year, I guess. The other one I want to create, I really want to do this one, create that graphical, beautiful view of the just the Valley work that we're doing on the website. So updating monthly. So this is just being able to recognize all the people who are, contributing to sending Satoshis and helping us out. We've already put down a webpage where we can see sort of the list of people supporting, but I want to go one step further and create a really nice view of almost like when you see in the back end, like statistics of podcasts or how things are performing. I want to show that with a bit of a view of how are the people this month contributing, overall how they're contributing, different views.
If you do that, that would be very popular in the podcasting 2.0 sphere, because even just this last episode, they were talking about the graphs, and Adam Curry was saying like data, like we've kind of got the data, we can kind of use this in some interesting fun ways. What can we bring out? No, I've yet to see a single decent graph showing listener support over time for a particular podcast.
Gotcha. So I want to do that. I've played around with some stuff before, and what I also want to do, although it's not written here, I want to make it open source it. So once I create all the code for it, or I do all the writing for it, the scripting for it, of what I've kind of got something in mind. But when I do that, I also want to just give it back to everyone and be like, hey, everybody, here's your open code for it. Go for your life. Throw it into your podcast.
So this will be for the Satoshi stream, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Because some people use it. They're actually making a web-based version, so it might I don't know, might even be worth talking to them, because they're updating stuff. So.
Yeah, sorry, and I guess I'm not saying that this is not going to be like an integrated to Satoshi stream. No. Yeah. This is like a read off a database, create something that way anybody can plug into it and be like, look, if you've got your database of data, wherever that is, whether it's connected or non-connected, you can also go and do this type of deal. Okay, so that sort of thing. So that's another one. I want to read a large majority of Ryan Holiday books on Stoicism. Right. Now, the interesting thing is I wrote it on Stoicism probably thinking that there were going to be more Stoicism based than they are. They are, in fact. I've read this Elves Goals Away now, the whole thing. So I've already started the annual goal as well by finishing one of the books. I'd say probably 60% of Stoicism, and then a lot of other things which are from different stories and different arcs, but it does pivot back to the Stoics bringing a lot of this information and ideas, at least to public knowledge, the best in whatever way you want to think about that. So that's just a pretty straightforward one. I do like Ryan Holiday. I've liked him, like listening to him on podcasts, and I thought, cool, feed me all of the Ryan Holiday books. Let's go through and just smash through all of them.
He's an interesting guy.
He's an interesting character. The next one down, I want to focus my other reads. So besides those, the reads on health extension and support, such as Tony Robbins' new book of Life Force. I liked reading Dave Asprey's.
Is there any science in that, or is that all like wish yourself into a better health?
That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be. When I heard he was coming out with a book like that, I was like, dude, it's going to be something like that. Like I was like, whatever. But then he co-authored it with another guy, and I can't remember who it is, but him and then another person are like deep scientific people. So it was more so them who created the book in partnership with talking to all these different doctors and what's currently like the cutting edge of the technology. So I was like, okay, cool. I'd like to read that.
Do you know what the book is called?
Life Force.
Life Force. By Peter Diamandis.
That's where it was. Peter Diamandis.
Tony Robbins.
Peter Diamandis. So Peter Diamandis is I don't know if you've heard much about Peter Diamandis. He's like does an insane amount of really cool things. People should look him up. He does a lot of really cool stuff.
The name seems familiar.
But I think it was like the Millennium Project or something like that he also looks after. Anyways, well, Kyrin
says he is the CEO of the Gravity Corporations, chairman of the X Prize Foundation, and executive chairman of Singularity University. Okay,
but the X Prize Foundation seems like a really cool thing. It's like they put up like a ton load of money for any companies out there to try and like achieve it or beat it, and it's things that they want. Like it's obviously really cool things to achieve.
He's like co-founder of 6 different things.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like he just does so many things.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyways, so books like that. So I guess health extension is probably a bit extreme. It's more of the focusing back on Operation 100. So that's the rest of my reads. So for you guys who check out the book reviews, it's basically going to be for me, Ryan Holiday books and health extension, health stuff, longevity, that sort of thing. That's probably going to be the next year's worth of effort.
Okay.
And maybe some fun stuff thrown in the middle. Yeah. Something like that. I want to travel internationally and explore somewhere new. So I do want to go internationally somewhere else that I've never been. We're starting to come out of the COVID bubble, so it's nice. I'll obviously travel to the USA. I'll probably end up traveling to the US again next year, but maybe while I'm there, maybe Canada, maybe somewhere else.
Go see Peter.
Yeah, exactly, Peter, dude. Gotta finally make that trip. And I didn't plan out the last one enough. There was a couple of people who was like, oh, maybe I'd come see you, maybe I'd drive this. I left it way too late.
Yeah.
I want to use Twitter and LinkedIn specifically for the Web3 content sharing and focus on quality over quantity. You would have seen in my previous annual years, I had every month go really hard on a particular platform or social media. Did that, was fine. Had some learnings, had some failures. But I think I found that for the Web3 content that I'm going to be creating, so Web3 and anything else, I'm going to be using Twitter and LinkedIn predominantly and go for the quality over quantity. So if it might mean a couple of reshares and one good post about when the content comes out and then a couple of little slices from it in the same way that we do our normal Mere Mortals content, so be it. But I'm not going to be aiming like once a day or something like that. So going to go down that path. Stuff you, Gary. I'm not going to go with the more quantity. That's just what I want to do with it.
Facebook's back in, baby.
Yeah. I want to attend 8 new or different events this year.
Dang.
So this is like...
That's ambitious.
That is ambitious. That's actually ambitious. So that's almost once a month. Some sort of new or different event that I've never been to before. So again, new event, that might also be like a thing, like an activity that I've never done before. So I had in my previous year's goal of one thing that I'd never done before every month, which that was pretty audacious. So 8 new different events each year. I was like, okay, I can kind of do that. I'll be able to find something to do, something different that I can go to. I didn't see this as a difficult one, but just something to keep me looking for something different.
Keep going outside.
Yeah. I want to make the effective transition to continuing the podcast as I move elsewhere. So
yes.
It is quite easy, obviously, when you live right next to the ability to be able to do this all the time.
Whip it up. Let's go.
So I want to be able to effectively transition to continue in that as I move elsewhere. And also thinking about at the same time how potentially some of the setup is as well that could enable it to work from like anywhere as well. So
yeah, it'll be...
Before, it's like, if I'm like somewhere else in the world, obviously we could do it through web. But it's like, how much fun can we make it if it was going to be something like that? Although to be honest, I don't see myself living anywhere else than Brisbane. So
yeah, for sure.
But really, just more, at least for this year, that effective transition.
Well, man, I've always had in the back of my mind, if cost was not an issue, I would be doing stuff like renting forklifts, not forklifts. What do you call those cherry boxes? What are they called? Cherry picking, like those things, those cranes with a box on it, and you can go up. The things power people use.
Yeah. Cranes. We'll just go cranes.
Yeah, it's like cherry picker or something like that. I think it's anyway.
Yeah, do
going
the podcast up there,
that, or going up in a tree.
No, do it in like one of those tables, but you put it to the back of a car and the car drives around or something like that. Yeah,
100%. If cost was not an issue, that would 100% be.
It'd be things like that. Yeah. And then the last 2 in the mind. So you got one of these right, which was continue to learn. I'll say the first one first. Yeah. 14, secure my crypto and NFTs more securely. So, they are secured in a way.
He's got secure written down twice.
Yeah.
So
more so I've got to secure it.
Double security right there.
So, just got to make sure it's locked away in whichever state I want to do it.
Probably hardware wallet's the way to go, man.
Hardware wallet's good. I do like I actually have it saved somewhere, just the cold wallet idea. I do like that. I do like the idea of being involved in Web3 and having a cold wallet and then a hot wallet that you use to do your minting and stuff like that.
That's what I do.
That's kind of like the way that I'm probably going to go down the path of. I just haven't, ever since having quite valuable NFTs, I've been I don't want to touch this at all. So something that I want to look into, and then continue to learn French through Duolingo. Now, I do like your note though, so I might change this one to finish French Duolingo. I think that's an doable, achievable thing. So
it's definitely doable.
So there you go. I'm changing that right now. It's going to be finish French Duolingo.
Nice.
So,
nice, man. Nice. Okay. Very cool.
Je vais parler un petit français. Non un petit français, un grand français?
Ich bin mir sicher. Which is like, I'm sure.
We'll be talking French and German, and both of us will not understand, and probably no one else listening to us either because of our pronunciation. But that'll be it. And then we got mind. So, what were your predictions for the mind, which are my last 4?
Yeah, for sure. So let me bring them up on my little phone here. And little shout out to Brody in the chat. Hey, what is up, Brody? Okay, so I didn't have too many for this one. The one, so...
Oh, sorry, soul. Sorry,
okay,
sorry.
yeah, confused me there.
Confused there.
Okay, yeah, so I only wrote down a couple here. One was create special moments with the family. So I suppose being more active in not just spending time with them, but kind of like I've been saying recently about, getting out and going somewhere different.
Yeah, you have been saying that.
That sort of creation of something a bit more memorable. Mm-hmm. I've written down splurge something splurge something on himself. So for yourself, perhaps a desire that you've never been able to justify before. Perhaps something like that. You're definitely more wealthy than you are.
I didn't write it down, but I'll tell you what. I've been talking to our friend Steven. I'm like, I should wrap my car and get some rims on this car.
Yeah, the car is definitely where it's at.
Yeah.
I've written create a family environment with his partner. So just that's, I suppose, related to the moving out sort of thing and living in a different atmosphere, that kind of transition. I've written build something by yourself for kind of like fun. So you said you had fun doing the sanding.
Yep.
So that physical aspect of actually getting something in your hands and physically creating it. I thought maybe you'd want to, I don't know, build like, for example, when I chopped down the tree that's in my dad's property over here, and it took me, I don't know, it's probably about 17 hours over the course of 3 or 4 days. That was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of enjoyment for me, being like, fuck yeah, look at this fucking tree that's now on the ground, piece of shit. I owned you, bitch. So doing that is a lot of fun. And then I wrote travel somewhere, but that was already
gotcha. Yeah. So you've got these ones pretty close. So first one that I got in there was setting up phone settings to allow me to be essentially present in different scenarios. So like right now, my phone settings on work. I've got obviously settings for work. I've got settings for sleep. I've got settings for, when I'm with my close relationships, so that I'm able to be present. I did do this for sort of a couple of monthly goals in the past year's goals. So I'm like, yep, cool. Make sure I apply with the new phone that I've got. Set the phone settings, keep it as that. So I've already set those up, and now it's just really sticking to it over the year. Next one down is making time, as you said, for at least one session or catch up with mum, dad, sister a month. So, and this, I'm probably going to take the leaf out of as you said, make it outside of the home. Which I've predominantly been doing, although with mum and dad, not so much. I think we've been doing it just like me dropping in and saying hello. Yeah. I think getting out, whether it's wherever, does work, which is good. As you said, I want to plan the month with a significant other in the same way that I do monthly goals. So kind of already started that in the last annual year. Just keep it going for the whole of this annual year. I do enjoy that, taking the time out of one day out of the month to talk through what are things that are working, what's not working, what are things that we want to improve on and the like. And then the last one, and this goes back to some of the food you said, I want to chew your water and drink your food mentality. Now this comes from Jay Shetty and probably comes from some other, monk sort of saying. Yeah. Look, all it is aim for quality and more of the in the moment presence with food. I've started to do that. There's a struggle for me, so it's not a monthly goal right now, but I'm sure I'll be introducing some of the monthly goals. So this probably, it's a broader look.
Step 1, buy straws. Step 2, put straws on tables. Step 3, throw out forks. Step 4.
So no, folks, it's not it's not the proverbial like liquefying my food and chewing liquids. It is to
and just getting ice.
Exactly, yeah. So this is just essentially just chewing down. Well, the proverbial, like if you're drinking something. Yeah, if you think chewing, like, okay, well, that's kind of odd, but you'd be essentially just swashing it around. You're trying to enjoy the drink. And with food, you're trying to drink it. You're trying to get it to the point it's been in your teeth enough, in your mandible enough, that it's quite liquid, basically. Or you chewed it down all the way. Yeah. Where I've just, for a long time, I've just had the mentality of I'll be watching something or reading something, and I'll just be shoving it down. And there is something to do with like how much you do masticate your food and how it gets processed with your stomach. Not that I'd really care much about that sort of thing, But I will move towards more of a habit when I'm tasting something, really tasting it. So that's really what it means with this one. And then so it's more aim for quality in the moment. So quality, I'll probably be looking again towards trying to juice new food, better cooked food. And I have actually been starting to do that, even though it's not a monthly goal right now. So there's lots. So there you go. So there's 19 in there. But if you add up the other 10, that's 28 goals in total for...
fair few goals right
there. The 30-year-old annual goals. It does, when I look at it in comparison to the previous year, it feels like it's less. It feels a little bit more restrained. It feels like I'm going to have more time to target some of these things better, especially some of the fitness things that I've put in this year rather than that I had last year. It's pretty similar. But some of the minds, I think, in the past where I was doing like, I've got to do one new thing every month and I've got to do one video or article of a new thing that I'm learning, and I've got to go as hard as I can on like Twitter or Instagram or on social media. I think I just had too many of those, like do them all at the same time, that there were some months where I was like, oh, I've got to pick one or the other, and that was kind of frustrating me. So I think now it's very structured. I've only got really 2 that'll be basically like, oh, okay, I want to really try and get this out every month. Kind of Web3, definitely the monthly views for like Satoshis, and then the weekly sessions kind of like the other one. But for the rest, it's more, they can wane. I can kind of structure them. I'm going to do more of these now, and I'll take away some as well. So that's sort of the structure for the monthly goal, for the annual goals.
Nice,
for the 30 old.
Nice, very cool.
Is there any comments in there, or else we'll jump into?
Yeah, I don't have any particular additional points. I think they sound kind of fun, and looking forward to see how they get implemented.
And one comment is the Operation 30 ones. I just haven't done it yet. I will move them into a point structure so that I can have like
Gamified a little bit.
So, with the 30 pull-ups, it'll be like 20, 25, 30 type of deal. So I will be doing that as well.
Okay, interesting. All right, very good. All right, well, come on to the chat comments. Not a whole lot going on in the chat today. Not sure why, although they were noticing this on Podcasting 2.0 as well. So people are just busy, I guess. But we do have one question here from Westside Baby, i.e. my brother. And he asks, how many veggies or fruits do you eat a day on average, Juan?
Ooh, pretty interesting question. I would say 3 or 4 servings. 3 or 4 servings. I'd say 3 or 4 servings probably the average.
And what's the balance between fruit and veg of that?
1 fruit or 2 if lucky, and then predominantly the veg.
Yeah. Okay.
Although I do have a greens powder that I will have 4 times out of the week, so 4 times out of 7, and they have like all of it all together. Then I'll usually have a banana, and every lunch, unless some sort of freak accident, will always have 3 or 4 veggies. So probably even more than that, but just give or take.
Yeah, my brother's actually he's pretty much doing all fruit at the moment. So he's
all fruit.
He's creating like a smoothie.
Oh yeah.
Which he drinks, and he'll put in that basically just servings of banana, berries, strawberries, etc. Things like that.
I was actually thinking of doing that for after workouts in the mornings, because I have noticed that I've just become. I actually have to do that to help in this 82 kilos. I've been feeling my metabolism kind of like slowing down. I want to have something like a protein shake, perhaps, but maybe even another shake of fruits, like, blueberries, raspberries, whatever, mixed in just for the morning as well. I just can't be bothered eating a meal, I guess. I almost don't feel like eating a meal. So, anyways, let's kick into Boostagrams now to finish it off for today for the musings. Boostagram Lounge. So, boost. We're going to start with from the 9th of August. We received a donation from Danny Gam 1310, 2 lightning bolts, 10 sats, and using fountain. Thank you very much.
Which is cool. Danny is I have noticed that name before, so it means he's a repeat listener. And one of the exciting things is I think this might have been one of the first weeks where I got a message on my phone saying that we'd receive some sort of Satoshis each day. So
very cool.
A lot of, some of them are Boostagrams, and then some of them are streams as well.
Very cool.
We really appreciate both. So thank you very much,
awesome,
Danny.
Here's another one from Tank Water. He says, happy Eka public holiday, guys. 500 sats using fountain. Thank you very much, Tank Water.
I didn't even notice, to be honest. Like my lifestyle is just so...
No, it's not structured around public holidays and
they're actually an inconvenience for me now, because it's like, oh crap,
Gotta go shops or something like that.
Yeah. The shops. What's going to happen? There's going to be people on the roads. What's
the deal? The next one, day along my weekly boost for the mere mortals, Mortal Light Nation, Dave Jones, 12,112 sats and using Cron,
which is a big Rush boost. Dave, I have been listening to Rush, the album.
We were just listening to it before, just before this.
So yes, thank you very much for that.
Awesome to see.
Rush boost, big Rush boost.
Thank you very much, Dave. Always appreciated. Floydianslips says, if you're just starting in coding with some basic if you're just starting in coding, start with some basic HTML and CSS. Then I would suggest learning JavaScript. Tracking bugs can be frustrating sometimes, but it is all logic in the end. Let me know if you want some help getting started. That's 3,200 sats sent by through Fountain by Floydianslips. Actually, I didn't.
One question is, what is CSS? I don't even know what that is.
I can't remember what it actually stands for. But in essence,
what does it do?
Well, HTML and CSS is just your website information. So like what website's sort of built on. So if you want to actually have a really brief look of what that actually looks like, for anyone at home or for Kyrin, if you hit F12 on your on a website that you're in, and you'll see that like panel come down. Yep. That's your HTML and the CSS that's available.
Cascading style sheets is what it means.
HTML is the actual web page. Cascading sheet styles is the UI interface.
It's a programming language.
But if you so you'll see it in most browsers. If you hit F12 when you get your network tab, the left-hand side section or the left-hand side section where you'll see like that's where the text for the website is, where you'll see a website in like sections. That's a HTML, and the CSS will be on the right-hand side where you'll see the imagery. And what's that? The fonts, the colors, the sizes, the placements, the spacings, all of that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Start at HTML, CSS. It's incredibly easy. Like I can write in HTML. I don't know CSS enough to write it, but I can understand it. So I would say start there. It's a really, really good place. So, and Floydianslips is willing to help if you've got questions or thoughts.
Thanks so much.
And then another one from Floydianslips, again, 3,200 sats sent using Fountain. Thank you. He says, you were discussing living in nature. There's a very interesting show that is very relevant to that topic. Boyd Barry goes and lives in the wilds of Africa. Very cool. And he sent through the Fountain episode.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'll actually have to go check that out because I did actually really enjoy listening to Janine out in freaking...
It's not Janine.
Is it not Janine?
I think it was Janice, right?
Oh my God. Lucy. I like the show with Lucy, and it probably is Janice, man. I get her name wrong. I just remember Jane in my head. But okay, I'll have to check out Boyd Barry. Goes and lives in the wilds of Africa, floating. Because that was really interesting.
So two things. One, I actually did check out the first episode of that last night.
Oh, okay.
So I can give you a very brief rundown. It is a South African guy, so you got to get used to the South African accent. You obviously work with people who have that accent, so you know it kind of well. And he kind of lives between. He was raised kind of on a reserve type area, so he knows how to track. But he's definitely he had this desire to do 40 days and 40 nights in the wilds of Africa. I can't remember the exact reserve. It's near the Kruger National Park.
Yeah.
And he had this when he was on, I think, the top of a camper van at Burning Man. So he kind of lives between both worlds. Like he's a wild guy, but he's also obviously has lived in the US and things like that.
Cool.
So I listened to the first episode. It's kind of spiritual, and the really cool thing is these were being released on April of 2020. So he was kind of like escaping COVID at the same time. So the real COVID madness, it'll be fascinating to go to the final end episode because he would have missed when COVID got kind of serious in April and May of 2020. Yeah. So it could kind of be like a look in time and be like
a time capsule.
This is what it was like for someone who just went out, and I'm not sure if he had totally no contact because he was getting airdropped food. Every 10 days,
somebody was telling him.
So
that's actually quite interesting.
The first episode impressed me. I'm even tempted to do it. The second thing was Floydianslips. For those who don't know, is Joshua Dennis. He has a podcast called Podcasting for Value. Recommend checking it out. It's cool. Especially if you are wanting to set up a podcast for the first time and learn about it, and you might think, Kyrin, mere mortals, who's actually listening? Like, who would listen to your show to want to actually know how to do a podcast? But there is I'm noticing this filtering of value for value people who know that sort of coming in this way. every show that I now review on the value for value, I notice Petar has Boostagram them kind of like the next week. So it's kind of like this intermingling sort of thing going on.
Inbred sort of thing.
Yeah, very cool.
And now, speaking of the devil, Petar. He says 5,000 sats. He says Lucy, Jane, Janice, whatever.
Yeah,
agreed. Dude, might have been saying whatever name. Insert whatever name I wasn't saying. But yes, indeed, it was Janice. Jane was the mum of the original of Lucy. And we can all put that to bed until the next couple of names I'm sure, absolutely destroy.
Unless I got it wrong, which is 100% possible as well.
But no, thank you, Peter, once again, sending those stats through on Fountain. Now, we got a couple of really interesting ones here from today. We've got from the Essendon Bombers. Well done, Essendon Bombers. I see that you're getting into Boostagrams. They say, we suck. Awesome. I like it. 190 sats sent using Fountain. Very good. And then we got another one from Jaden Campbell. And he says, I am leaving the Gold Coast Titans because this club sucks. So there you go. We've got a couple of semi-famous people coming in and putting it down. It's another 190 sats, by the way, sent using Fountain. So
it was definitely Janice, by the way.
It was definitely Janice?
Definitely
there you go. Janice, folks. Janice. Don't get it wrong. Come on now. And the final one is from the proud mum of Liam F.
Oh, yeah.
Says, Kyrin.
She's back again.
Yeah. Kyrin, how come you don't wear the Chux kitchen cloth beanie no more?
Well, first of all,
500 sats sent using Fountain.
Thank you very much, proud mum of Liam F.
She's very proud. Very proud.
Very proud.
Very proud.
I do appreciate that. First of all, I did actually wear this on the episode we recorded today, which will be released next Friday.
Correct.
So, first of all, I am still wearing it.
Yeah. Be on the lookout for it. It's still there.
Second of all, it is actually that's twice it's happened now. That some random person has been bold enough to say that and be rude as fuck.
Yep.
Which means that there's probably 10x that amount of people who have thought it and have not been rude enough to say it.
Yeah, that's true.
Which makes me think, do I really want to present myself as wearing a
Chux on your head?
You know, I don't care about the fashion in general, but
is it enough? Is it like the level where like it would have been really funny if the lady who approached us today was like, that's an interesting Chux you've got on your head. That would have been like gold. And I'd have been like, yes, it is a Chux on his head. Well done.
Yeah.
Maybe it's impeding your opportunities. Perhaps.
Well,
maybe some people don't want to be clean, and they see you coming. They're like, "Man, I don't want this Chux coming near me."
The very night that I got the first Chux cleaning comment was the very night that I actually got a random chick's number and went on a date with her a couple of times. Okay. So maybe it's attractive.
Maybe, you know? But maybe it's attracting the clean people. You know, they're like, oh, he knows what's up. He keeps it clean. So yeah, there's gonna be.
Just think of that. It's like it's appealing to the feminine instinct to clean, maybe, and it's like,
damn,
look at this guy. He's
all over it. He's all over it.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, thank you very much for everyone sending through those Satoshis through all those Boostagrams. And again, as well, the people who've sent through and streaming as well.
We do appreciate it. We've got more stuff coming. A couple of things to just highlight here is one, if you keep boosting and you reach the 100,000 Satoshi mark, and
correct,
we will roughly know, but if you keep changing your bloody names, it's going to be hard for us to figure it out. But if you do reach that level, we're sending you a shirt.
Correct. So, we will send you a shirt.
Just be note that there's a little incentive for you.
Correct.
And yeah, we do appreciate it a whole lot, and we're working on things, as you just heard in Juan's goals. We've got some cool stuff coming up with graphs, and we're really trying to
that'll be fun to do.
Focus. I've got stuff coming up in my goals as well to make the podcast even better and whatnot. So yeah, we'll
be on the lookout, folks. Be on the lookout. But once again,
it's only going to get better.
That's right.
It's hard not to after Juan forgetting names, drinking water, Kyrin wearing Chux cleaning stuff on his head.
That's what I mean. Like, it's starting from,
it can only go up, right?
It's coming to 3 years of the podcast, and we're still starting from the bottom. So it's a long way to go, folks. But for those who have been around, I do appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in for the musings. And for now, we say adieu. Juan out.
Ciao. Kyrin out.
Bye bye. Ciao. Bonne nuit. Good.
Very good.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Good.
As usual, I'll be doing the editing now, so if you want to join me in the Discord chat and chat offline, feel free to do so. And apologies for the crappy / no audio right at the start. Hopefully that'll be better for next week.